date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of skycams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together, we're Mississippi Strong. Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Relatively quiet start to the day. Just some clouds out there, but overall, not too bad, although it is still relatively warm. It's 84 currently, but with the humidity, it feels like 93. We do have a heat advisory in effect starting at 10 and lasting through 7 tonight. So just continue to practice heat safety. This feels like temperatures expected to be in the triple digits, so overall, still going to be another hot day, although we're going to stay relatively dry because this dry air is just going to set in ahead of this tropical stuff we've been talking about over the weekend, since yesterday as well. So overall, still going to be relatively hot and dry, not only today, but for most of tomorrow as well. So temperatures are still expected to be in the 90s. Eventually, we will start to see them fall back into the 80s, but that's also going to coincide with our next chances for showers and storms, but that's also going to be related to the tropics.
Yeah, that's really our biggest concern is tracking the tropics with the fact that we still have Invest 93L just off the coast of Florida. It's starting to make its way through, but it looks like it's actually turning off to the northwest, which is kind of a good thing. We don't want it to go further off to the south. The further north of Tampa that it goes, the better. Mm-hmm. We want it to ride the coast so that we don't see it move on out into that very warm open water. So this is something that we're keeping a very close eye on throughout the rest of the day today, that's for sure.
Yeah, so right now it's about 580 miles from us here in Jackson, but it is starting to move inland, and I would say by the end of today, it probably will make its way to the Gulf. And then continue to track westward over the next couple of days. So these are just some of the tracks, the spaghetti models showing what could happen over the next couple of days. They're actually in more of a consensus that it's going to continue to track west and then eventually shift north somewhere near Louisiana. So what that means for us is that we're looking at mainly flash flooding, and tornadoes are also going to be an issue as this system moves northward towards the end of this week. This is between around Friday and Saturday going into the weekend. So we're going to be dealing with this for the end of this week. So again, here's that timeline outlook for you. Kind of just needs to be updated just a little bit because this system is continuously moving. But again, by the end of today, more than likely going to be moving towards the Gulf and then continuing to track westward over the next couple of days. But again, we're still talking about that two scenario situation situation. I think we'll have a better idea once this system gets to the Gulf about where it's going to be heading. Again, if it stays more so along the coastline, looking at a little bit of a weaker system, nonetheless, still expecting rain for us here in central Mississippi. And if it stays further south, it's pretty much moving into untapped territory because we haven't really seen anything tropical so far this hurricane season. So the waters are very warm. Lots of energy for the system to tap into if it does continue on that southerly trajectory. So this is just one model's opinion. Don't take it to be the truth, but this is just one scenario that may play out. It does look to be more so riding the coast actually as this updates. And if it does that, it may not be as strong as it gets toward the Louisiana coastline. So actually this has updated since earlier this morning, which is actually a good thing. But things are subject to change. So just make sure you have multiple ways of receiving alerts over the next couple of days to get the latest on what we're expecting. So
yeah, really the worst thing that we're going to be expecting from this system here in Mississippi is the rainfall. It's likely that we'll see the chance for some flash flooding, especially along coastal areas. We could easily see that continue into our neck of the woods back into central Mississippi. But if it does take that more westerly track, we could see the increased risk of tornadoes as well, depending on the strength of the system. Again, that is all subject to where exactly the system goes into the Gulf and how strong it can get. So just please make sure you have ways of staying updated. We are expecting these forecast models to change, especially once it actually hits the Gulf. We'll know exactly where, exactly where it's going to be heading in a way, shape, or form. We'll have a much more clear spot into where it'll be, if it'll be riding the coast or if it'll be heading on out to sea.
yeah, so this is just something to show you guys what we're expecting. These are the FAQs, if you will. Again, 580 miles from Jackson, probably a little bit closer now since it is getting a little bit more so inland. But timing still looking to be, I would say, late Wednesday night, and I mean like around 11 o'clock Wednesday night, and then continuing Thursday, Friday, Saturday for us here in Mississippi to see impacts from this system. And then going into the end of this weekend, things will gradually start to improve. And our most likely impacts, as we've been saying, torrential downpours, flash flooding, rip currents along the coast. So I know a lot of people have been asking me, they're asking if it's a good time to go to the coast. I would err on the side of probably no, but if you do have friends and family that are already there, rip currents are going to be a major issues going into the next couple of days, so you just may not want to get in the water, period. And then again, tornadoes as the system makes that northerly turn. But that's pretty much the gist of what we're looking at over the next couple of days. Not necessarily too concerned with intensity for us here in central Mississippi, more so the impacts of the flooding and the potential for those tornadoes. So that's what we're looking at over the next couple of days. Today, more so just looking at hot, dry conditions. Same goes for most of tomorrow. And then we'll start to see those impacts from the tropics later on into the week.
Yeah, so if you have any questions about this, please don't be afraid to ask any meteorologist on staff. We'll be sure to get as quickly as we possibly can, get you the information that we have currently, because everything's going to be changing. It's a very fluid situation. So make sure you do have multiple ways of staying updated, and we'll have more updates live and online for you throughout the rest of the day. But have a great one and stay safe and stay cool.